Hello. My microphone is not plugged in, so I'm going to plug the mic in. Hello, 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 hello. I don't know. Is this thing on? Okay. I think, okay, are we, okay. Good evening. I almost said good morning. Almost said good morning because Hobby Evolution is usually a morning show. It's not tonight. We're going live in prime time. Today was my first day back in the office. So I'm going to share about my back to the office and how strange it was. I've got a lot to show off because I've had some pretty cool mail days. Some most wanted cards have been scratched from the want list. I have been doing a lot of cleaning and organizing. So I've unearthed some things, one of which I didn't expect. I knew I had, but I didn't know how I could use them. I was going to just throw the entire box in the recycle bin. But as I dug through it, I found something that I could use for an existing collection I have that's just kind of willy-nilly. So I have that to share. I'll show my corner. So if you've watched the show, and I showed just the embarrassing corner of my card room. I'm going to give you an update because I've been hard at it. You look behind me, and it doesn't look like anything's changed. Like it really, like I have spent 5 days, and like yesterday, I spent hours upon hours in this card room, moving things around, organizing, cleaning, and it does. You look at this view, and it doesn't look any different than what it did a week or two ago. But it has changed. So everything behind me now is all Cubs. So those two shelves, that shelf there with the cardometer, and then the shelf there, all of that is Cubs. It goes all the way to the top, all the way below to the floor. What's up, Zach? Good evening. So the future of Hobby Evolution, get into that first. I do plan on continuing a morning Hobby Evolution. It'll just be early. It'll probably be 6:45. There may be some days that I either go earlier than 6:45 or I wait until prime time and do a primetime show because as I was at the office today, I was scoping the site because I plan on riding my bike to work at least, maybe at least once a week, maybe a couple times a week, weather dependent. So I was scoping things out. So if I ride my bike to work, it's going to take a little bit longer, but I think I can make it to. It's about a 10-minute drive, and I think I can ride my bike in 20, just based on the routes, because I can't take like it's not very. I could bike on the main roads to my office, but there's just so much traffic. I don't trust drivers, especially the roundabout we have. There was a crash this morning as I was commuting to work, and the person that got hit, and I think they probably pulled out in front of another car. They just stopped in the roundabout. In the roundabout, the person is just sitting there in the car, and I'm like, so as I approach, I have to creep to see if there's oncoming traffic. So not only do people not know how to work a roundabout, drive in a roundabout, but if they don't and they get into a fender bender, they just freeze. Like, I got hit here, so I have to stay here. No, move off to the side. If the cops are called, whatever, tow truck called, whatever, but just try to get out of the way if you can. It wasn't bad enough that it like required a tow truck. I wouldn't imagine. And that's, I mean, that's the good thing. Like it's not the fender benders aren't bad, and it's slow, but the roundabout this happened at, and it's just a mile away from my house. It's the intersection with the most accidents in our entire city, and actually county, in our entire county. So, oh joy. So I'll get into that. So I went back to work, and Zach and I were actually texting this morning, and I was dreading it. I have worked from home for the last 11 months. I have worked from home 14 out of the last 15 months. So I started working from home in like mid-March of 2020. And I actually, I went back to work, back to the office. Basically, everybody in my office that was working from home last year in 2020, went back into the office the day after Memorial Day last year. And then cases kept creeping up. We had a scare within our office, and a majority of my coworkers decided that, hey, we're not going to take the chance. We're going to work from home. It worked well for the first, 2-3 months that we did it. March, April, May. We'll do it until things get under control. And that's kind of where we've been. And so I was back in the office for about a month. I think pretty much all of June last year. And then it was right around 4th of July that's when we had the scare. And it's like, okay, we're just going to work from home. And then went back to the home office. And pretty much, I think all but 2 people are back in the office. Pretty much everybody came back today, was the first day back. And then we have 2 that will return next Monday. So I was dreading it because you don't, and I told Zach this morning via text, that it's the little things you take for granted that really, and fortunately I'm very analytical on kind of some dumb things, and one of which is time. And I'm very analytical on time. I mean, so this is how analytical I get. I actually would use a stopwatch to clock my travel time from my house to my office. I'm not proud of that. But that's how analytical I am. And not only did I do it just once, and this is, my wife laughs, not only did I do it once, but I did it for like 3 straight weeks because, there's stoplights, there's different traffic patterns that occur. So it's not like you can't just take a snapshot of one day, a Tuesday morning. There could be less traffic on Fridays. There could be conferences in town that increases the traffic, slows things down. So I did a 3-week snapshot, and that gave me a better idea of how long it actually takes. Is it 11 minutes and 17 seconds, or is it 9 minutes and 58 seconds? But I'm a nerd like that. So I did not stopwatch it, although it was a little weird driving to the office this morning. It was very weird. It was weird, I guess, is all I can say. But taking advantage, or taking for granted some of the just the random stuff, like running the mail to the mailbox, taking packages to the post office, taking the trash out. Maybe my dog's poop bin needs to be emptied into the trash can for trash day. Those are things that I could just do throughout the day. I could wake up, make my coffee, log on to the computer. Once I get settled in and check my emails, make sure everything's up to date, then I could take the trash out, run down to the mailbox, and just do that. Just instead of walking to the water cooler and getting a drink of water, I would, walk the trash down to the curb. And that stuff takes time because it takes time out of your morning. So now I have to do this before I leave for work. And I have to, okay, I need to get these packages. I'm going to have to throw these in the car because I'll just, since the post office is near my office, I'll swing by the post office. Wednesday, when it's trash day, I'll have to take the trash out. Maybe I'll have to come downstairs, come down here and get a trash bag. And that, it's minutes. It's very minimal in time, but it all adds up. Those commutes. So during my workday from home, my lunch break 45 minutes, but hey, I'm home. So I fix a sandwich and it takes 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, nothing. But when I'm at the office, it's a 10-minute commute to my home, a 10-minute commute back to my home. I have a 45-minute lunch break. That's 20 minutes right there. So I have 25 minutes and I have to eat 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. So now my basically 40 minutes when I'm working from home to get packages squared away, run to the post office, that's now limited to 10, 15 minutes. So that adds up to a few hours, maybe 5 hours a week. So that's something that I was not looking forward to. What I was looking forward to was a break in the monotony of being home around the clock. So you wake up, take a shower, get ready for work just like you normally would, but then your work is at home. And when the clock strikes cutout time, where do you go? Oh, you walk to the living room. Hey, I was just here 30 minutes ago. So it really, working for the weekend, the 80s song, everybody's working for the weekend, it really rings true because now it's like I'm not, once the bell rings and I'm done for the day, I'm not just walking to my living room. I'm actually looking forward to going home, not because I'm not already there. They're all around the clock. So I did look forward to that. We have 2 new employees. We hired 2 employees during the pandemic. That's how well, fortunately our company, we're, essential. So we were able to actually hire more work. So the 2 employees I had not met in person, done a lot of chatting and emailing back and forth. Very cool. So a lot of bring positive energy to the office. So that's great. So it was good. It was overall, it was bittersweet because it's really nice to pet the dog during the day, take the dog for a walk at noon, not have that extra travel time, having a little extra time throughout the week. So I'll miss that. But having the break and now things are black and white, not gray. Everything was so gray. It's so I'll like that that little break from work and home, and I think it'll re-energize. Zach says the little things. It is, and I think it'll re-energize because sometimes we get into a funk, and I definitely get into a funk if I spend too much time on Twitter and I see all the negativity. And it kind of drags you down, but now I'll be, I won't lose focus. I won't have that distraction as much as I would have. So I think that's a positive. So enough about work. I want to talk about the quarterbox strategy, which I had alluded to this week on Twitter. After the show on the card show on Sunday in Rockford, that I learned a lot from. And we actually talked about this after my May show, the Madison card show in May, about my quarterback strategy, where I brought 3 times the amount of cards, but I only made 10% more of what I made for the April show. So I want to dive into that. But first, I was hoping I'd have more viewers now, but Tuesday primetime must not be a good time to go live. So I will show off some of my recent mail days before I dive in to the quarterbacks strategy. So actually 2 of these cards were on my top 10 most wanted list that I created last year. I picked off the number 1 card, the Ernie Banks rookie last year, thanks to Michael Schaefer with the trade. A couple others that were on the list. This was a super hot card for a while, and I was able to get this at just a phenomenal price. So I was kind of in the buyer's market for some of these newer cards. First Bowman Chrome Auto, Gleyber Torres. It's been something I've been keeping an eye on for a couple of years now, but the price has just been pretty crazy. So I was able to get that at a really good price. The second actually came today in the mail, and this has been top on my most wanted. This would have been number one on my most wanted list. Gleyber would have been number two. Chris Bryant. So this is his first Bowman Chrome Auto, even though it doesn't have the first Chrome, name on it. It was from 2013, but they did not insert these autos of Chris Bryant in 2013 Bowman. I don't know if I can't remember the story behind it, if they forgot or something happened, but they put them in like 2014 products, including Bowman Inception. And I like that the PSA slab actually says that 2014 Bowman Inception, Chris Bryant, 13 Bowman Chrome Draft Prospect Auto. So I didn't lowball for this, but I sent an offer that I thought would at least minimal be countered. I kind of thought it would be outright declined. But not only was it not declined, it was not even countered. They accepted my offer outright. So I was very happy with the results of that. Another big purchase was the Javi Baez Project 70. So this is my second Project 70 Cubs card. A third one is on the way. It's the second Ernie Banks is coming. I have the Quicks Ernie Banks. This is from who's the artist on this? I can't remember the artist. Soulfly. This is actually the artist proof. Was able to get the artist proof numbered to 51. It's not as cool as I thought for an artist proof. For as much money as it cost, I'm a little disappointed. So I won't be buying any more artist proofs. But it's Javi, so I don't feel bad. Now, if it was like somebody that I don't PC, like now I PC every Cub, but Javi's like my player, like he's my guy. He's who I collect. But if it was like Ernie Banks or Ryan Sandberg, while I collect them because they're Cubs, they're not like my main PC. Javi is. So for that, I'm glad I got the artist proof. Now, this is from my buddy Johnny. He's my co-promoter for the Madison Card Show. He traded this to me, and I didn't expect anything in return for what I gave him, because what I gave him was a bunch of empty boxes, storage boxes. So he sold 30,000 cards to Midwest Box Breaks, and he texts me and he's like, "Hey, do you have any monster boxes? Because I'm going to have to ship these." And I'm like, "Dude, do not ship monster boxes, because it will cost you about $50 to ship a monster box." And he had 3 or 4. But if you put all of the contents in large flat rate boxes, namely the gaming boxes, you can basically fit what's in a monster box inside a gaming box. And it's like $22. So he didn't have that. So I provided him with like 8 or 9 of those and a bunch of just storage boxes. So he came over Saturday. He's like, "Here, I've got this for you for the boxes. Gem 10, Chris Bryant, rookie debut auto from 2015 Topps Update." I'll take that trade any day. Chris Bryant, PSA 10 rookie for some old storage boxes. And he texted me. So he came down to the card show in Rockford on Sunday, and he's like, "Hey, do you have any more boxes?" I do. He brought his wife and his baby and had to run before he got the boxes. So he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I need to swing by." He lives here. So he's like, "Hey, I need to swing by and get more boxes." So he stopped. He's also in real estate. So him and my wife had a good time chatting about sharing war stories in real estate. So thanks, Johnny, for that. And then the one last show off I have, as I was moving things around, And I do want to switch the camera around so you can see the progress that I did make. Since you can't really see it behind me. Found a box of plastic sheets. So there were a bunch of like just 9 pocket pages that were just like in a box, and I'm not going to use them because I'm really not a binder guy. I've got some binders, I've got some pages, but not my thing. But I collect autographs. That's kind of my secondary. Autograph baseballs, number 2 behind my Cubs card collection, and then behind that would probably be just, I guess, random autographs. But I've been buying a lot of vintage signed index cards. So I have like a stack of a lot of old index cards of Cubs that are signed. I actually bought like the photo album page inserts to put the index cards in, but I didn't get around to doing that. I had like a pile of the index cards, and actually not one of, but there was a stack of these pages, and they're a little long, but they fit the index cards pretty nice. So I think there's enough there that I think will fill my collection. So I'll put these in the pages and put those in a binder. So before I go on with my quarter box strategy, let's move the camera. So I'll show you what I've done here in the card room. It's kind of messy because I've been shipping today. But as you see behind me, go right behind, not my ear. So that's all Cubs, all the way down to the floor and beneath. And I cleaned up the table a little bit. The floor is, you can actually see a floor. I do need the side boxes. Where's my ear? The sides need some work. But back here, this is where a lot of the work needed to be done. So this is now, so that was all like Cubs. And so now it is just random commons, just boxes. So I've got some more room. So the closet that's over here that you can kind of see behind the shelf, it's just like a monstrosity. I'll move some of the boxes and put those back in the little cubby. So that's what I've been up to. Let's talk core box strategy. So Ken mentioned after one of my last shows about my quarter box strategy. So the April show, I took 5 monster boxes of 25-cent cards. And I did well. And then I figured, and then I sleeved like 30,000 cards. And I thought, okay, if I made this much in April on 5 boxes, I'm taking 15. I'm going to make 3 times that. Not even close. So why was that? Because I had some really good stuff in the boxes. I had a lot of volume. So Ken, Beans B Card Blog, said, maybe it's overwhelming. Maybe there was just too much for customers. So I wondered about that. So I don't have, actually, I can probably bring up my April numbers. Let's see, it's on my trade sheet. So I thought about that, and how is there a way to track, is it actually overwhelming for somebody? Card Show April. So Card Show April, I had, let's see, I had 15 sales, 15 different sales. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I had 8 of the 15 sales were just kind of like a handful of cards. In 12 cards. And sorry, I don't have, did the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24 So I had 24. I'm going to go up here. So in May, I had 24 sales. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 of 24 were between 4 and 12. And what I say, 8 of 15. So we go 8 of 15 to 8 of 24. Go to Rockford. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 sales. And I took 16 boxes. And 1, 2, 3. 3 of 13 were 4 to 12 card sales. So what that shows me is Ken's onto something. And not only is the volume of boxes, can it be overwhelming, but it's also a case of people aren't going to just come by and buy 10 cards, 5 cards, 4 for $1. You know, we go 8 of 15 transactions with only 5 boxes. We go to 15 boxes, and now we go from basically 50% low volume transactions to a third, 33%, and then down to about 25% for 16 boxes. Now, that's kind of the goal, okay? That's kind of the goal of, because those 3 so say Sunday, those 3 transactions were small dollar. Those 10 transactions were higher. They were in bulk. So I made more money, and I made significantly more money in this show on those 13 transactions than I did in the April show on 15 transactions. But I want to capture some of those, you know, smaller sales. But I also want, so I want the volume to be there, but I also want to capture some small dollar sales. So how do I do that? And I've been thinking about this the last couple days. It's not about subtracting volume that I take, because I don't think it's overwhelming. I think it's how I'm presenting the boxes that is overwhelming. So yes, it is overwhelming, but that's not, it's not the numerical count of the boxes I bring. It's how they're sorted, and they're not. And that's why I think I've seen a giant fall off in the smaller transactions. Now, if I had, so my baseball is, so out of 16 boxes, I think 10 of 16 boxes were baseball. And they're just nothing but a mess. I think there's one box that's all rookies, and then there's one box that has some players sorted, but it's just a giant mess. I think if I can get those sorted. Now, it's also, is it worth my time? Is it going to be worth my time to get all these sorted for 25-cent cards? Right now, no. Right now, it's not. What's up, Diego? Welcome to the Primetime. I'm talking about my quarter box strategy. So it's one of those things where I'm really going to have to, I think ideally, how to capture the most bang for my buck out of quarter boxes is to bring volume and have it sorted. Because as I'm going now, I think I'm going to be stuck in the current trend of, say Zach comes up and he only wants White Sox or Frank Thomas or Carlton Fisk. Well, they're spread out through 10 boxes. And as a collector myself that's looking for Cubs and Cubs only, well, for the most part, I like to flip as well. But with that aside, if I'm going through, I don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours going through 10 monster boxes just to pull out a small pile of cards. But if they were sorted and, just say by team, I know I want Cubs. Boom, there's a Cubs tab. I only have to sort through, say 500 cards. And, say if I'm a player collector, say if I want Frank Thomas cards, most of them are going to be in the White Sox category, but he also played for the Blue Jays and the Oakland Athletics. So I can flip through if there just happens to be any of those cards, and it'll take less time. So I think that's one thing where, yes, it's overwhelming, but I think it's because they're not sorted. That's the overwhelming part. That, oh crap, there's 10 monster boxes of baseball and they're not sorted. I don't want to dig through, especially if I'm looking for this team or this player or this set. So we'll see. So my next show is June 26th, still 3 weeks away. I'm like, I'm buried with eBay shipments. I'm buried with trades that I have been for a long time. He never played for the A's or Blue Jays in my universe. Didn't happen. I like that. So I'm super buried right now. So, if I get to the June show with it, we'll see. But what I have discovered in all of this, it is time consuming. It is. And so my first show, and I think I talked about this on the round table we did, was the last show that I did before COVID. I had everything set up in Teams, and I had a lot of comments like, "Oh, hey, this is great," but I had a lot of those small dollar, 4 for $1. Oh, I got 10 cards, call it $2. I had a lot of those because people were digging through. I only want these 10 Cardinal cards or these 10 White Sox cards. So I thought maybe if I just mix them all up and they're just in no order whatsoever, people are going to stay longer. They're going to dig more and they're going to buy more cards, because once I get a stack, here's how my head works. If I'm in a quarter box, usually the first couple stacks I sort through, I'm just like, don't want. But if I come across a few more cards that I put aside, all of a sudden I may actually go back to those first 2 stacks and be like, okay, now that I've got a stack going, I want these cards too. So that's kind of what I was going for, was trying to get people to dig and build a larger pile to create a volume stack sale. So what I learned at the Wisconsin Dell show, and I think Herman commented during my recap on Monday morning or Monday night, whenever I went live, was my fill a box. So this is something that a dealer had in the Wisconsin Dells, 100 count boxes, fill a box for 20 in there. It's 20 cents a card. After the show, I counted, and one box I had 90 cards. One box I had 100 cards even. One box I had 110 cards. I had exactly 300 cards in those 3 100 count boxes. So it's going to be pretty close to getting that 5 for $1.20. So as I was reorganizing my card room, I found a bunch of 100 count boxes, about 8 of them. I took them. And people so I had 13 transactions. I bet 8 of those 13 filled a box for $20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. So 10 boxes were filled. The cool thing was a few of those people said, filled up multiple boxes, and they're like, do you have a larger box? I filled up these 2 boxes. Why don't you just keep these boxes for somebody else, the next person? And I brought larger boxes. So not only did I sell 10 of the $20 boxes, I think I brought 5 home because people bought more than the single $20 box, and then they consolidated them into a larger box that I had under the desk, and I brought home 5 boxes. So I'll have them for my June show. So that worked out really well, much better than I had anticipated. So that was another strategy that I will definitely use for the next show. And what I thought about was backing off. In May, I took 15 boxes to my show. I was going to scale back to 10. I may do 15 again if I can get things organized. I don't know. I haven't decided exactly what my strategy for the June show will be. But I will definitely bring the $20 boxes to fill a box. And I also decided I'm going to do a dollar box because I've been opening a lot of Bowman. There's a lot of chrome that I feel is worth more than 25 cents. And I think a dollar box, and I have enough top loaders in it, and that's something that I was hesitant because top loaders are such a scarcity that I didn't really want to give up any top loaders on dollar boxes. But I have a good supply of used top loaders that I've bought over the last couple months. So I think I'm going to do maybe just a 3-row box of dollar cards. We'll put some 2021 Bowman Chrome, some inserts, some rookies, and just some other cards that, maybe I would sell for a few bucks on eBay, but I can put them in a dollar box. So those are some of the strategies that I've just kind of picked up along the way of doing these quarter boxes, and I'll start a dollar box for the June show, which is June 26th here in Madison, Wisconsin, Sheraton Hotel. Speaking of card shows, great news came from the National today. So they announced a couple of weeks ago that it's probably a go for the National on schedule, starting I think July 28th at the Donald Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, which is outside of Chicago. So I've held off on getting I get the regular VIP package. So I held off just because I didn't want to commit with everything up in the air. But things within the last few weeks have trended in the right direction. And even more so today, the National released a statement. Yes, the National is a go for the dates. And it sounds like the governor of Illinois is going to basically move to opening up the entire state on June 11th. So, no masks, no limits on capacity. So that would be huge. So fingers crossed that we can cross that bridge. So I bought my VIP package tonight. So it's a go. I told my wife, I'm going for the entire 5-day stretch. I'm going to take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off of work. I've built up a lot of time during COVID because you couldn't use it. There was nowhere to go. So I'm going to use some of that time, take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, and head down during the day Wednesday. Me and a buddy of mine, we get a hotel about 15 minutes outside of Rosemont. So the price is much less than the hotels in the area. And it's an easy drive down River Road. So just hang out, and I'm just gonna have a blast because I'm looking forward to I'm not even looking forward to the cards. I'm just looking forward to meeting new people and meeting people that I've never met in person, that I've only met on social media. And I'm looking forward to seeing old friends that I have met before. Yeah, the cards are there, but that's kind of secondary. It's the people that make the National. And there was a Twitter string. I don't know who had it out, but it's like the people make the National. And so that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So that's what I got. So I appreciate you tuning in on an awkward time in prime time. So my plan is to go live tomorrow morning, 6:45 ish, and we'll see. We're gonna kind of just take it day by day on Hobby Evolution when we go live. If I ride my bike to work, I may just have to push it out. May not go every day. because the whole work from office, it throws a wrench in everything. So I'm gonna try to go live every day, but things will come up. Things might come up. So I do know that I will probably let's see, Sunday I will go live. I'll go live. So the weekend will go live. But I'm heading out of town Sunday. My where I grew up, our local town festival is this weekend. So I will be heading out after I go live on Sunday morning. There's a parade that goes right by where my hometown, by where I grew up, the house I grew up, where my mom still lives. We have family over. It's kind of a mini reunion. Friends and family come over, watch the parade, drink some beers, grill some burgers, and head uptown and just hang out with people I haven't seen in a while. So took Monday off because in the past I haven't, and it's hard to break away from all that fun. It's called Fun Days for a reason. So I will not be live on Monday of next week. So I'll take Monday off of Hobby Evolution. So that's what I had for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening, and should be on tomorrow morning, 6:45. Plan on that, and we'll see you then. Thanks so much.